Al Gore in 2008 said we were going to have no snow in the North and South Pole. Obviously, a load of bollocks. We can't print $13 trillion and have inflation transitory by definition. No. What really is a mockery is when they say, breaking news. There's nothing breaking about it. And the girls were saying, I go and party. I don't care what happens from 3,700 years to now. I can name study after study after study after study for through.
As in human race.
Correct.
Do you think maybe some of the big funds like BlackRock, Vanguard, they have a lot of money in a lot of the big companies. Do you think they have a lot of control, a lot of power?
Not the kind of power that you would think. They don't have power other than getting on boards and trying to force the management to do a different thing, okay? And most of those changes are not all woke related, but almost all woke related. But they have the power. For example, it's gone unpublicized to the best of my knowledge. BlackRock, maybe Vanguard, and one other of the big funds are closing down their alternative energy funds. Now just think about this for 20 seconds. Three of the biggest managers of money on the planet in the history of the world have decided, they made a conscious decision, unpublicized, other than the shutting down, on alternative energy. Why? Why would they do that? I can tell you why. Because I'm not infringing on your intellect, because they know that the long-term, intermediate, and long-term rates of return aren't going to be there.
Well, why else would they put their money in or take their money out? Something.
The story has changed. From Al Gore in 2008 said that by 2014 we were going to have no snow in the North and South Pole. That's what he said. And that was obviously a load of bollocks. Okay.
You got your wife's accent there, a load of bollocks.
Yeah. If I told you that NATO and the International Monetary Fund came up with a report about a year and a half ago that said three things. Number one, it would take 130 years for genders to find equality on the planet. 130 years between men and women. Find equality. Okay. And then they defined equality. Okay. Then they defined equality as pay. And not 130 years, 250 years before men and women found equality in pay.
Why is that even a thing, though?
Because it's never going to happen.
Surely, pay should be based on who does the best job regardless.
Well, that's not what it's based on. Now, I'm not justifying it. No. I'm just telling you what the report said.
Yeah.
Okay? Would you believe if I told you that if we stopped January 1 this year, and I asked students at, I forget which university this was, everything that the Greenpeace and alternative energy people want us to stop doing, to save the planet and the atmosphere, etc. If we stopped every single thing last January 1, you know how long it would take for the Earth to become net zero? 3,700 years. 3,700 years. We're through. Now, I'm not just some crazy old professor from Cambridge spouting this shit. And I can name study after study after study after study. We're through.
As in human race.
Correct. 3,700. When I asked the college kids that, and the girls were saying they were running around with placards. Fuck, I'd go and party. I don't care what happens from 3,700 years from now. But it's not vogue.
Who controls the world's money?
If you're asking, does the Illuminati control it? I don't know if the Illuminati controls it. I know there's probably 15 or 20 super wealthy families and individuals that have more to say about the money. Jeff, Elon Musk, Bill, Warren stays away from that kind of stuff. Warren meaning Warren Buffett. But there are people that they go to ask about, the velocity of money and what does that mean. And but no government now in 2024, no government, because now news is almost instantaneous. Okay, good and bad news. And some people say bad news travels faster. I'm not sure about that. It's like when they said that inflation was transitory a few years ago, the Federal Reserve, Chairman Powell. Now, anybody that believed that, any BBC newscaster any Sky News had shit for brains. You can't print $13 trillion and have inflation transitory by definition. Yet every news head on every major TV station and radio station says the same thing. So that's how ill-equipped the financial experts, gurus on TV are to, separate wheat from the chaff.
Do you think the media is essentially just a messaging outlet for higher people who control the world to just indoctrinate us how they want to indoctrinate us?
No, I don't believe that. But what I do believe is the media is got a very liberal bias, and that they would
say there's more fake news.
Yeah, well, they don't consider it fake. It's like when I asked those two famous journalists, why can't you have more truth? There were bits of truth that they were allowing to be on the two TV stations, but they were only bits.
So how do you know what to believe?
Well, you don't, and that's why I know some people that don't listen to the news. Don't listen to the news. I still listen to it. I find it, but I look at it as an entertainment.
You're not watching it for your business?
No. The Bloomberg, I watch for business, and CNBC for business when I want to follow the markets.
I mean, that just makes me I just find that so ironic and funny that you watch the news for entertainment.
Yeah.
I.e. people watch the news for entertainment.
Well,
it's not information, it's entertainment.
Well, I don't consider the information that accurate.
So doesn't that make a mockery of what is called the news? Because it's therefore not news anymore.
No. What really is a mockery is when they say breaking news. There's nothing breaking about it. It's a joke. Do you have any idea? This is a good question, perhaps, for your audience. Do you actually believe, audience and you, presenter, that the stuff that comes out of the city, the financial district of Britain, or Wall Street, or the equivalent thereof, is given any thought to absolute 100% accuracy?
Well, I'll let them answer that for a second.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, is that even a metric for media accuracy?
Well, they have fact checks in
But BBC do their own internal fact checks.
Supposedly, yeah.
So that's not a fact check, is it?
No, that's true.